All right, Clix and Higgs won 2 out of the 4 games of the Eval Cup last night in a win format. This particular match, they only had 3 elims total, so I want to go through and see basically how they're able to win a game with such minimal refreshes on their materials, because I would imagine that they're going to have to play their rotates pretty perfectly in order to actually get to that point in the match. Now, if you know anything, you know they land at OXR HQ. Lots of launch pads, lots of loot, lots of metal, great drop spot. Nothing in particular to add to that on top of that. First thing of note and importance that they're doing is that they're creating these metal boxes up here with extra heals in them. They have a bunch of medkits, big pots. You got minis, you got whites. So I imagine they're going to play these before hitting this launch pad in the storm later. That is my guess. We shall see. And surprisingly, that's what they do. You've got Higgs looking for tags up here. Clix just threw a bunch more heals in here. You got even more big pots. They have a ton of sauce in here. Let's put it that way. So they can spend as much time here as they pretty much need. All right, 3 zones have passed. They pretty much got no tags there. But the game's only got 58 alive, as you can see right now. So early surge damage isn't like a massive priority. People are kind of WQing a little bit, getting a bit more aggressive. So they're just kind of chilling, doing not a huge amount. They rotated onto this hill here to also get some more tags. And they got a little bit onto Madden's teams who was there, but not like a massive amount. Also, apologies for, you know, this looking so dark. Fortnitemares has decided to make the entire replay mode basically unwatchable. Appreciate that. They basically now just rotated to this hill, which has pulled the 5th zone, which has been great for them. And now everyone's kind of rotating into them. So at this point, they're able to get a good amount of their surge racked up. I don't imagine the third thresholds are really that high in this game because it is just eval and there's only 53 people up. So I don't think they really need to go crazy with the tags. All right, we've got a north zone pool here for them. Bunch of people on their head. Pete's team rotating right past them. Kind of everyone's just crash padding instantly. So with these, you kind of have a couple of rough times. You can either crash pad early or crash pad late. Now, this is a crash pad that I like. So they're... Oops, I've switched to the wrong team. My apologies. That's also not them. Go back on them. So these floor crash pads are really nice where you just bounce off of them. And they've not got any fizz at all, right? So they only have the 6 crash pads as they rotate. Click's actually playing triple weapon, which is interesting. That's probably why they were spending so much time looting. They just didn't get a fizz in their entire game. The problem with a lot of normal crash pads, obviously, is you just fly high. But this floor one's, you're allowed to bounce. And then you can kind of slide like this and continue going on. The fact that Click's even got beamed there, right? They got beamed for 100 because that team was watching. It was kind of obvious when they placed the 2 floors that there's a team above them that can watch. Had they high crashed there, like just done a regular old normal one, they would have easily died, right? Easily. So that team would have just like, yeah, you know, easily wiped out Clix from that single crash pad. So the fact they bounced off the floor, kept him alive, and then got them ahead into this rotate too. This also allowed them to time to refarm. The one thing I like that they're doing a lot though is they're continually looking behind them. What you got to remember with this meta is everyone's fizz crashing. You know, they're always making these nuts rotates. It's really easy to get your head landed on. So you have to repeatedly watch behind you. So, you know, where Higgs is walking forward, he's the one kind of looking in front as he's tarping. Well, not tarping, just leading. Clix is the one at the back, and his job has to be to make sure they don't get landed on, right? So if you're the person following, you have to continue to look behind you, look up to make sure teams aren't just crash padding straight onto your heads as well. Refarm was good. They've now got in on this entire rotate into the 6th zone, still with 123 and 128 builds. So looking really good. Still also with like 4 crash pads left as well. All right, where's 7th zone going to pull? Max. Okay, so let's see. I love the instant rotate here. Instant crash pad. Thing is, if you go straight away, a lot of people are just going to be focused on, oh, get the balls. What a name. A lot of players, that's actually extremely greedy right now, I must say, okay? Let me have a look. Let me go back 1 second. So let me talk you through this rotate real quick and why that is so risky here. All right, as they've rotated, so the first thing they do, they land. So as you notice, there's all these teams behind them straight away, okay? Let me get the old camera out. They've crashed. How many teams are back here? You know, we got 5, 6 teams all back. So they've rotated instantly, and obviously they're ahead already, right? All these teams are behind them. They've done a good job of not being right next to the edge of zone. So they've gone instantly. If a single one of these teams also, like, say, instantly fizz crashes or uses a crash and slides, they'll be right on them. Higgs and Clix are just standing in the open, just spraying. Well, excuse me, like, I'm talking about, you know, they're being really careful about not getting teams landed on their head, but that's an extremely risky play. Because they're ahead, again, they can keep kind of refarming, which is good. Like, at these points in the game, 6th and 7th, you still have some time to refarm if you are aware, especially if, like, in this instance where they went straight away and went really early. Like, most teams will either go early, straight away, or they will wait to the very end, like where the zone starts to move and then everyone goes at the same time. It's kind of odd for teams to do this kind of in the middle and make a big rotate, and if they are, they're going to stagger and use a bunch of mats at the same time. So you actually have a little bit of time to go and reharvest as they go there. So that's kept them up. So 110 and 117 mats just going into the 7th zone where it's about to close. 8th zone's about to pop. In pressure from Muzz and Ree up above. They don't seem to be too worried about that. Where's the zone going to pull? Another max zone. So another unfavorable pool. Last zone, they went really early. again. Seems like they're going to do the same thing again. Yep, they're staying on a low layer. This is good, actually. The fact that they're on relatively low layers means they can just do these crash pads safely. Like, if you are on a high layer and you crash pad, you kind of have to do the floor ones where they bounced like earlier. And there, Higgs is looking behind him as he's also harvesting. So he's able, similarly, yet again, to make sure that a team doesn't crash pad on his head. Runs down. So one thing there, like a lot of the foot rotates they made there are really, like he kind of ran all the way down. A lot of those are okay because teams will be flying way up in the sky. So as long as you're not getting crash padded on, some little like foot rotates like that are fine. You don't need to literally run you don't need to crash pad, sorry, every single rotate, you know? They're still not in here. Getting aggressive on the walls. This is a good time, right? 8th zone is a really good time to get aggressive in these kind of lobbies. Because like, what, 109, 62? From here, like, they can't win the game with this loadout. So at some point, they're going to have to get an elim. And if they go this early, they've got a nice refresh. Ooh, there's a player there. Get out. Nice. Good from Clix to hold. Okay. Come on, Higgs. We can get out. Nice, nice. Good from Clix to hold and be, to make sure Higgs can try to get out, even though he kind of whiffed the mantle a little bit. Now they've gone early. They've spent time to get more mats refreshed and try to look for a fight. Now that they can just stagger late and go for a crash pad and go over everyone's head into, like, roughly into dead side. Yeah, immediately building metal. Really nice. So you can see they're kind of like, they've cut off everyone at the edge zone here, right at the far edge. So now again, if zone pulls this way, they're early. If zone pulls this way, they can rotate around the side. If it pulls back this way, they're already got priority here. So this is a really nice position too. Only problem in this is it depends what kind of weapons people are carrying in the meta. A lot of people are carrying the OXR right now, but if there's like a more stinger meta, like if Peterbot's team sitting next to you, you're just kind of wraps. The other good thing about this kind of side of zone in this weapon meta, as I'm getting into that point, you know, if everyone's carrying stingers, you go here, it's really easy to get lobby focused or like Fury ARs. A lot of people are carrying double pumps, right? Let's see, there's like bolts carrying yeah, like Acor. No, they're carrying SMGs next to them. Have a look at other people. OXR, Fury, double pump, yeah. So it's kind of a bit of a mix. A lot of people carrying SMG, a lot of people carrying double pump. If you're going like really split from the lobby and you rotate late, like obviously your builds are weak, so you can easily get lobby focused. In this instance, it didn't really matter, but if a lot of people are running double pump, then it's really hard just to lobby focus you anyway, so you're actually better off playing a lot of these kind of dead side spaces. This now allows this really free rotate there. You can just use wood. Remember, like now they have no crash pads. So like no crash pad left for endgame is a rough position for a lot of teams already. So, you know, ideally you'd want to have 2 or 3, at least one to get you through like the first moving zone. A lot of them on the edge of zone rotates away further. Like I said, like this rotate here is way easier just to foot rotate it than what they're doing previously, or than what a lot of the teams have been doing. Like a look back. Oh, the full piece under Josh. Okay. All right, Higgs just jumps straight into the box, gets a full body. Because they have this free tarp ahead of them, obviously they've got the space and time to do that. The benefits of early rotates like that, of course, are the fact that you have time to look for elims and go for wall to wall. Now they have the crash pads, so maybe I guess they felt like they needed it. Same thing. Stick into that side of zone. Very nice. Look how free it is. Well, they're going to snuck up on here. You've got to be really careful. I do love that edit as well, right? The one thing about when you're tarping with floors, rather than coding, and a lot of people place a cone and then edit it, but you can just edit and place the ramp like this. Another thing that's important here is if you're going to spray out height, so say you're doing this exact tarp just in floors, there's not really an established height, okay? But imagine you were here. Why is this focusing like this? What is going on? Something going on. And you want to spray out height. You edit these 2 tiles, and then you place a ramp above you, and it's completely like it's freshly built rather than placing a cone and editing it where it'll be much weaker. So if the height team wants to spray you, they've got like a lot more to spray through before they actually hit you and go for the shot. And of course, because they're down here, they can refarm. Players on their left. Like Higgs does 140 builds because that refresh, and Clix does 80. So much to work with. They're doing a good job. Now they're in the zone transition. They're airport stratting, creating a bunch of space on low. Zone pulls max again. Now they've already set up an early crash pad, and I imagine you can just do the exact same thing. Yeah, they're slightly more into the center now, I think. Yeah, so now they're much more in the center of the zone now. So now they might have a little problem, right? They're no longer on this far left side. They have a lot of teams next to them who can kind of cut them off. This is where they have to be way more weary. Start to spray players on their lair. Can get a crash pad. A little tough from the spot. They're looking for height. Is there even a height up here at all? Go for a height retake with a... No. Okay, I was going to say go for a potential height retake, but that sends them off to the other side. Higgs can get a good tarp out of this and then still be on the opposite side of zone, potentially. They've been cut off on low ground, so they go up a few layers. I think a lot of players in that instance would have made the mistake of like staying 1 or 2, you know, trying to claim low or go 1 layer up. I love the fact that he went 2 layers up in this instance here. Because now, of course, like these low ground teams, if you're anywhere near them, like look at these guys have done a great job on low ground. Issues team and those are like, look at this airport strat down here. Look how much space they have claimed across the whole area. If you've gone like 1 tile above them, it's so easily for you just to get like chopped, to get sprayed down. But from Clix and Higgs POV, they've gone up 2 tiles instead. So they have this like extra layer. They can get chopped, but like there's no way this team's going to ever bother like spraying out all the walls because they've just built and connected to them because someone else will inevitably connect. So from here, here, like, they have such a free rotate. And now again, yet again, they're ahead of zone. And now they have the time where they can sit and spend to try and, like, chop, to spray someone to go for a fight, right? Like, one of the biggest issues in duos, in particular, one of the biggest issues me and DJ have been having when we've been playing is that we're always backside, right? If you're always backside every single rotate, you don't have time to do anything because you have to spend all that time healing and then you have to rotate straight away. If you're like this, you get to front side, you have time to set, go for elims, go for refreshes. So now that Higgs has milked a little, they have no heals. Okay, so he's only down to like 60 whites or 65 whites, sorry. Player got knocked down below. Manages to steal the body's acorn. He's got a full fizz out of that. The beauty of the fizz regenerating. And now yet again, Higgs is doing a great job of like claiming left side of zone. Like they're just super cheap tarping all of this time because of that. Drops the fizz down to Clix so he can heal him off. He's kind of missing every single... He's missing him with the fizz, unfortunately. Gets into that end game. Still claiming front side. Now they can chop out the height. I love the height grief. Like just going to chop it out rather than like going to retake it, right? They just spray it out. Because that's the height team. Now they've got less materials to play from. Final moving zone with a minute left. They have enough mats to probably play it all out, especially with the 2 medkits that they have. So again, now claiming the entire of low. They have 1 elim still to the name. Who gets the rest? Let's see. Seems to be Higgs. So let's just keep watching from his POV anyway. They're trying to get cut off by the other low ground team. Great job to back out. I don't know how much storm he's taking. I'm guessing Clix will probably go for the heal off because Higgs is taking so much storm. I mean, I guess they're not going to go down to storm sickness, so it doesn't really matter either. That's a chapter 5 thing you need to care about. Not really in this chapter, let's be real. Heals up, 9 builds. 8, let's see. Ooh, denied. That was so nice. They were going for a fizz height take. Whoever's on height right now, which we'll check in a second. That's a great job. They saw the ramp coming out and they've just denied it. Okay, Higgs going for the heal off. I don't know what Clix is doing right now, I'll be honest. Good spray out. It's Kanada's team. Drops down. Great bangs. He goes down. Higgs now goes from the backside. I'll rewatch the most important plays of this in a second. And now he's got 3 medkits, and I guess he just wins heal off from here. Him against Dolzer. Dolzer has... Oh, med miss. That's it. He's got sickness. So maybe this is important, actually. Or was that Dolzer has sickness? Oh, it's Dolzer has sickness. Okay. Nice. Okay, there was 2 really nice things right in that final moving zone as it was a little chaotic there. Let me go back and check. All right, so as they were struggling here, getting lobby focus and whatnot, you need to make a play to win, right? You need to make a play to do something. They're super weak. I hopefully I've not skipped too far back. Okay, so as you place this, if you're ever on height, you should really be able to recognize this by now. This is a great recognition here from Kanada and Arc. If you see a ramp like this, there's a high likelihood someone's just going to hit a crash pad and try and retake height. That can happen if you're way up high and you see the same thing because they could fizz into it. Very much so watch out for any, like, you know, ramps that are like this. Then they just completely deny that height retake there. Okay, very nice. So then he's still got 2 medkits. He needs to pop one now. Trying to run low in mats. He just splits his mats so that Clix can tarp. Height sprayed in. He gets out. He's stuck in the little corner healing off. Has no more medkits left. Clix is bouncing around doing something. Runs through the back into Storm. Gets Kanada. Spends the time to get the finish and grab the medkits. Creates space. No, he doesn't get the medkits. I take that back. Goes back for him. It's 3 medkits, and then I guess he just wins from there. It's nice. All right, great game from them. There's some really nice tarping mechanics that they have there. A good zone awareness. A little messy in the final zone, but like, who isn't? Let's be real. Like, subscribe. Peace.